Hello all, मेरा नाम हिमांशु गुप्ता है. I have secured rank 27 this year in UPSC CSE 2019. This was my third attempt and I had philosophy as my optional subject in my second and third, but in the initial first attempt I had chosen geography as my optional subject. So since I was just out of college and I was not clear about how to choose an optional subject, and since I was from my science background, I had done electrical engineering, so I thought a good semi-scientific kind of a subject might help me in getting to understand and writing the optional paper. But after much thinking and in 2016 I wasn't even able to clear the prelims exam, so I could not qualify the prelims, and so it did not matter whether it was geography or anything else. But after that prelims exam I realized that geography is probably not my cup of tea, because the major thing that I realized for an optional subject should be your core interest. A deep interest should be there in any optional subject that you choose. And for me, memorizing a lot of things and even having an interest to read beyond what is given in standard books, that is required in an optional subject, and that can come only after if you have a good amount of interest in it. See, UPSC is like a marathon, and you have to have a long time with this optional paper. So one cannot expect choosing only one optional subject and clearing that off let's say in 2 or 3 months. So my strategy was to take an optional which I was comfortable with, and I can spend my entire day reading that optional without having any second thoughts about it. And it was then that I researched more on optional subjects and I landed upon philosophy as an optional. Choosing philosophy, the first reason, as I said, was a good amount of interest, and for checking my interest, what I did was I read some very basic books on it. I researched on YouTube. On many crash courses of philosophy are there that can be finished off in just one day. So I watched all of them, and then I saw that whether I am really curious about the subject or not. After the interest aspect comes the strategy part. So you should see the syllabus of the exam, you should see the previous year questions, you should also see whether this has been scoring or not, whether some kind of guidance is available or not, the material availability is there or not. All of these things, all of these factors do play a role, and after all of much of thinking, I decided philosophy should be my optional subject. I should say that there was one more factor that I chose philosophy optional, but actually that turned out to be a myth after I chose that. So the first thing that I saw was that philosophy has a very short and a static syllabus. That actually turned out to be a myth, and I realized this thing maybe after 1 year of preparation. So in the initial part, what I used to think was that it has a very short syllabus and it can be revised in just a few days, let's say, and I thought that I would be able to do with it. But with time that I realized, after doing some guidance and after having all the consolidated material, I realized that a lot of things can be read about it, and it is not just restricted to the syllabus. When people say that philosophy has a very short and a static syllabus, I always say that it may not have that much of width, but it always has that much of depth, even more depth than other subjects. For understanding one line, you probably have to read 20 pages or 30 pages just for understanding one line. So it is not that it does not require so much efforts. If you target, let's say, above 300 in any optional paper, it requires the same amount of efforts in any optional subject, be it any optional, be it a science based optional or a humanities based optional or philosophy or even geography that I had taken. So for all of these things, if you have to put in so much of efforts, again I will emphasize on your deep interest, and core interest should be on philosophy, then only one can take this subject. After I come to after I have addressed the reason behind why I took the philosophy as an optional, let me come to how I approached the subject, how I studied about it. So since you may be knowing that every optional has two papers, and every paper is divided into 2 sections. So there are 4 sections overall. In first paper, 2 sections are Western philosophy and Indian philosophy, and in the second paper there are 2 sections. One is called socio-political philosophy, and the fourth section is called philosophy of religion. For every section, there are some basic standard books that are available. For example, in Western philosophy, the book name is Why Masi. For Indian philosophy, C.D. Sharma is very popular. For the paper 2 socio-political philosophy, people study O.P. Gauba book, and paper 4 Why Masi and John Hick are also there for philosophy of religion. But my strategy was also to diversify my sources. I had this thing in my mind that I have to be at least in top 5 to 10% in my optional subject, because optional is something like a make or break paper. You cannot expect more than 60% marks in any of the GS papers. You cannot expect 150 marks out of 250 in any GS paper, but you can always expect 300 plus marks in your philosophy optional or any other optional. So my strategy was to focus more on optional subject as much as possible. So I did not restrict myself to these standard books. I actually kept some coaching material or some standard class notes or what notes I had made as my base material. So that base material I had internalized, I had memorized several times. But apart from that base material, I had utilized a lot of resources, not only standard books but internet. Shodh Ganga is one platform where you can find many research papers, many PhD theses also. There you can find many things. Even previous year questions, you can actually you can see previous year questions and just type Shodh Ganga on Google, you will get a good amount of literature. There are many YouTube channels. For example, in philosophy of religion, I encountered a channel called Closer to Truth. That is actually a documentary series, and it has a lot of content on philosophy of religion that you can see and watch and get to know about things. So there are many online content and many online resources available. Stanford University has a good website on philosophy itself. So it has a plethora of resources and plethora of content. You can actually go for that. And I would again suggest that these are all supplementary material. These should be read very selective manner and only extract the utilizable information from here. Do not read anything cover to cover. Otherwise, you will end up getting confused. Keep one thing as your base material, and after that base material, you can check all of these supplementary things to get some value added enrichment points in your for your answers and get some conceptual clarity also. Another thing in answer writing, what I did differently was, let's say in Indian philosophy, I used to write the Sanskrit sutras as well, and that too in phonetic language. In English, if you want to write Sanskrit sutras in English in Roman script, one utilizes phonetic language. You can see that in the books also. In books also, people tend to write the Sanskrit sutras or Sanskrit words in phonetic language. That helps in actually conveying your thoughts very clearly, and even the examiner might be impressed by the fact that you have some or the other differentiated thing from other copies. Another thing in Western philosophy, I can say that I also quoted many books and quotations. So this helps get in value enrichment of your answers. And do not restrict yourself only to this syllabus. You can get around your syllabus as well sometimes. Let's say there is a topic called George Moore, and G.M. Moore criticizes Berkeley in the Western philosophy. But you can also see there are many other people who have criticized Berkeley. So all those extra philosophers, you can just read about them for a comparative analysis in your answers. They are not given in the syllabus, but they are explicitly not given, but implicitly they are there. You should read about them. You should actually make interlinkages between different papers as well. That helps in getting some extra or differentiated content in your philosophy answers. I would also like to talk about the role of test series here. Again, for any mains paper, you require practice, and for practice A good test series often helps. So you can enroll in any of the test series, get good feedback, check the model answers, even peer-to-peer evaluation and comparative analysis helps in philosophy. So all those things you can actually try to improve your answer writing quality and get good marks in philosophy. My final thing would be to please focus on the optional and try to get into the top of your optional subject so that you can score high, and all the best to all of you. Thank you.